Hello, people. Matt Mike here with another segment of Unleashed. All right. So I drew a lot of inspiration from comments, and these are multiple comments all around social media here uh, on Matt Mike Sports Atlanta Falcons Nation. And like one of the things that burns or churns my gears is that we got people that say that Dean Pease all he was about a bunch of talk, and it's just the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. It really is fucking stupid. Okay, it's stupid. It's ignorant because on one hand we say this time and time again. It's like you look at other players and look at other teams and say, well, goodness gracious, why can't we go and get this guy out of the draft? Why didn't we draft this guy? And why didn't we draft that guy? And why didn't we, make the conservative effort to actually go after defensive guys, and then we say, all right, Dean Pease, all he was a bunch of talk. Like it's completely asinine. It's asinine, and it pisses me off to no end. It pisses me off to no end. This is the same reason why I've said time and time again that anyone that believes that Arthur Smith needs to be fired is a moron, and I wholeheartedly agree with it. I wholeheartedly believe that. Like anybody who says that Arthur Smith needs to be fired is a moron, or he's on the hot seat, they're morons because they don't look at the stats, they don't look at the facts, they don't look at the film, they don't look at what's actually going on, they don't look at the salary cap, they don't look at any of that. They go off based on their emotions, based off what they see, and based off what you see isn't coming from a trained eye. It's coming from a fan's perspective. So when we say things like Arthur needs to be fired, or Arthur is on the hot seat, or Dean Pease in this instance, that Dean Pease was nothing more than a bunch of talk and a bunch of energy, and he did nothing. Well, these are the numbers to prove that. Told you we about the stats, the facts, and the truth. Okay, that's what we about over here. We don't listen to what we don't care too much about your opinions. Okay, because most of our opinions can be biased, and these aren't biases. These are facts. Okay, this is ain't something that Mad Mike made up and he doctored some. He didn't doctor a bunch of stats and put them on the internet. These are people. These are the numbers that the Falcons had. All right, so we're gonna get into some numbers, okay? Like I said, we do facts and we do stats and we do the absolute truth around here. And like I said, for the guys who people who just tuned in, this is as you see the title. I'm pretty pissed off. I'm pretty pissed off. Yeah, I'm fucking heated. So excuse me. I know we got a show tonight, cooler talks, but yeah, this segment of Unleash, yeah, I'm pretty pissed off when it comes down to this because we see this stuff time and time again. It's like look, I don't look, look. Like I said, I'm getting to it. I see this time and time again. People want immediate results, and then when you see results and you see the changes and you see the improvement, it's not good enough. When we see the results, we see the positive, we see them right at our face. It's not good enough. It needs to hurry up, but he needs to hurry up, and I'm not sold because it's not happening as fast as I could, or is it as it should when it comes down to our personal feelings about things. That's not good enough. Okay, and this is the problem that I have. I got a major problem with anybody who says Arthur Smith needs to be on the hot seat, or he's on the hot seat, or Dean Pease was nothing more than a bunch of talk, and he didn't really improve the Falcons' defense. It's completely bullcrap. And like I said, these are the facts. These are the stats. Okay, so we'll look at the points. This is the first year Dean Pease. Okay, they're ranked 29 in points. Okay, 29th, 26 in yards. Passing is a little bit better than passing, and 18. Passing TDs 26. Rushing TDs 27. Rushing TDs 26. Red zone touchdowns is 31. Overall touchdowns 31. And we're gonna look at the sacks. They were dead last in sacks, 20th in interceptions, 10th in forced fumbles, and 16th in fumble recoveries. Okay, this year, right? This is right off the bat. The first thing that I'm gonna read is just shows you improvement here. The objective of any game is to stop the opponent from scoring. The Falcons were 23rd overall, all right? 23rd overall in scoring defense. That right there in itself is an improvement right off the bat. Yards, 26, 27, not much of a difference. It went from, the passing yards this year. I think, we can kind of, throw the fact in, and they had a lot of injuries in the secondary this year. But like at the end of the day, the numbers said that they did not improve when it came down to the passing yard department. They were 25th in the league. All right, you go from pass TDs given up. They are 23rd in pass TDs. Rushing yards, 23rd from 27. So that's an improvement in the rushing department. So they improved in points. They improved in passing TDs given up, rushing passing TDs, rushing yards, rushing TDs, rushing red zone rushing TDs, overall TDs, and total. So this is why I get so upset when people say that Dean Pease was nothing more than talk. It's freaking foolish. It's foolish. It's absolutely unbased. It's based on nothing short of your opinions. And like I said, I don't care about what your opinions are. Teams are going to get better if they got great coaching. Teams are going to get better when you have better personnel. No coach can take a team, the same team. We're talking about the same team. You got to be able to have the talent up. You got to be able to have the right. You got to be able to have the right. Excuse me, but you gotta have talent. You gotta have the right coaching. And these are the things that I say time and time again that is so frustrating is that we got the proof is right in our face. But it's like as long as we're not in the playoffs, or we're not in the playoffs, nobody cares about the improvements. But we want to fire everybody and say, all right, you know, we didn't make the playoffs, we didn't improve, which is just completely bullcrap. And like I said before, the proof is in the pudding right here. These are the numbers. The Falcons had two running backs. Cordero Patterson, who had 695 yards rushing. The dude literally missed dang near an entire month with an injury and still somehow rushed for 695 yards rushing. On top of that, you have a guy, Tyler Algier, that rushed for 1,000 yards himself. So again, when we talk about improvements, just because you're not satisfied with the end result doesn't necessarily mean that these guys aren't improving as coaches. It doesn't mean that the players that we have aren't improving, because it's the proof is there. The proof is right in front of you. It's the same thing when we talk about with Caleb McGarry. You see how this dude went from going from a bust in 1 year, and this is a difference of 1 year, okay? A difference of 1 year. This guy went from an absolute bust to getting crazy paid in the offseason. This dude had the potential to be at least the $80 million tackle in 1 year. In 1 year, this man went from a bust to dang near Pro Bowl caliber right tackle. And this is what we talk about patience. Some of the smallest critiques as far as a coaching staff is concerned, taking more time to actually run the damn ball instead of passing the ball in certain situations, can tremendously help your offensive line. Can tremendously help the running game in itself. Because we took the time out, we committed to the run, and the Falcons were number 2 in the entire league because we committed to the run. So we take that same philosophy when it comes down to the defensive side of the ball. We help improve the offensive lineman. We bring in the offensive lineman. We bring in the right coaches, and we bring in the right players. Why can't this same philosophy happen for the defense? And like I said, the proof is in the pudding. Like when it comes down to this defense, let's be honest. You only care because you're not getting sacks. That's the only reason why people saying he's a failure. DNP is a failure because we're not getting sacks. The Falcons' pressure improved, but pressure don't get sacks. So, like I said, this is one of the things that really burns me up, and it really pisses me off to say that DNPs was nothing more but lips. It's fucking bullshit. Look, and Anthony, look, this again, why do you think this is the biggest? Why do you think this is the biggest offseason? This year 3 is the biggest. Why? Like we put our expectations as gospel. Nobody is more important to this team than Arthur Blank. If Arthur Blank comes out and says, we need to make the playoffs, our expectations is make the playoffs, then we say, all right, he's on the hot seat. But Arthur has never stated that whatsoever. Because we want from our team, our own personal views, we put these ideas and expectations on players and say, all right, Arthur on the hot seat. Why? Because we said so. That's how we feel. To be honest, I'm going to be honest. What my expectations for this team going in, and y'all heard me say this several times, I don't have any expectation for players. My expectations was for the coaching staff. I wanted to see improvement from Arthur as a coach. Did he make the necessary adjustments during the game to actually win games? Did he commit to the run? We saw that. We saw that. Did he make the right choices in clutch situations? Sticking to the run when the run worked? He did that. Did he play certain guys when they needed to be played? Did he bench guys when they needed to be benched? We saw that. I saw improvement. I knew he was. I knew that Arthur Smith made the necessary adjustment when I heard this, and everybody probably gonna lose their mind when they hear this. When you heard Arthur Smith on that sideline said, "We're about to run the piss out of the ball," that's when I knew we had our head coach. That's when I knew my head coach was going on to a whole nother level. That's when I knew my head coach was headed on to another level. That's when I knew my head coach knew exactly what the fuck he wanted from this team. The man ran the ball 14 times in a row. He said, "To hell with this passing game. They can't stop us." That's the type of stuff that I need from my head coach when he sees the defense is on their heels and they can't stop us. That's what I need from my head coach, to recognize what our strengths are at the moment and attack it. And we saw that several times this year offensively from Arthur. We saw that even times on the defensive side of the ball. That was a work of art against Kyle Shanahan. Everybody forget about the Kyle Shanahan game. Yeah. You forgot about everybody forget about the 49ers game as if that didn't happen. 28-14. Yeah. Everybody try to pretend like that never happened. It's amazing how everybody want to say that Dean Pease and Arthur Smith, these guys didn't do their job. Oh, they didn't. They did nothing to, make me feel as though that these guys are great coaches. Yeah. Why? That's what I want to know. So those are the things we talk about when we talk about the improvements of this team. Like I said before, man, the Falcons have made strides. The Falcons are 23rd in points per game. Okay? In the second half of the season, the Falcons were number one in defense when it came down to giving up points, to not giving up points in the second half of football games. Falcons were number one. Yeah, nobody cares about that because we didn't get a bunch of sacks. Nobody cares that the Falcons weren't giving up points in the second half of ball games. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared about the Falcons not giving up points in the second half of the game. Me, K-Styles, we said this time and time again. If the Falcons off defense play like they play in the second half of games, we would easily be a playoff team. And I think everybody knows right now why the Falcons aren't consistent on defense. It's because we don't have depth. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Yeah, we kicked their asses, okay? We kicked the 49ers' asses, okay? We kicked their ever-living asses. But nobody cares. Why? Because we didn't necessarily do what everybody thought we would do. Like I said, we didn't put up certain amount of numbers. So everybody got in their feelings and say Dean Pease, Dean Pease ain't nothing but talk. No, he's about proof. The run, almost every aspect of this team has improved. But when you don't have talent up front, it don't matter how much that you blitz. If you don't have guys, I think AJ Terrell missed like 2 or 3 games this year because of injuries. He's our best corner. So not only is he dealing with his best corner being out and AJ Terrell, the dude, Isaiah Oliver, they brought him along slowly. D. Alford had a couple games, I believe, that he was injured. Casey Hayward went out, and his defense steadily got better. And like I said, in the second half of games, the Falcons didn't give up a lot of points. I think the number was around 7 points a game in the second half of games. So that's why if you look at the last 8 or so games of the season, the Falcons were almost in every single one. This is another year where the Falcons had games, 10 or more games that were decided by one possession. This is the second year under Arthur Smith that they've done that. 10 consecutive, we talking about 10 games, consecutive years, back-to-back years, that they've been in every game, almost every single game. And we talk about Arthur Smith being on the hot seat. We talk about Dean Pease not being good enough. So, in essence, like, is it really true that Dean Pease didn't improve this defense? Or is it our personal expectations aren't being made? The last 4 games were a testimony to what Pease had built. Everything finally came together defensively. That man said on the last, look, that man playing against Tampa Bay, he said he did not hold anything back. That last game with Tampa Bay, against Tampa Bay, was a freaking work of art. He did not hold anything, and the Falcons had one of the best games of the freaking year against Tampa Bay. That man was hitting Tom Brady, and he was hitting Tom Brady almost from the very beginning to the end of the game. They had to pull the dude because they thought he was going to get hurt. But we say time and time again that this dude was nothing more than talk. If you think this is a bad division, you're sadly mistaken. Anthony, bro, this is not a bad division. Let me say that again. The NFC South is not a bad division. Every last one of them, from the Saints, top defense. The Bucks, top defense. Panthers, top defense. Falcons, okay defense. The problem with the NFC South, we just don't have dominant quarterbacks. So to say this is a bad division is just not true at all. We gave everybody hell. Damn near everybody in the whole damn division had 7 wins, bro. That's not bad. It's teams just trying to find themselves. That's really what it comes down to. It. This whole NFC South, we were just beating up on each other. If you want to know the truth. Now that NFC East is an okay division, but like the NFC South is not even it's not a bad division at all. Every team have their day. We was beating up on each other all year, all the teams. And we were beating up other teams. From the Bucks, the Panthers, Falcons, yeah, we beating up some of the best of the best. So it's like, this is not a bad division. Niners had like 6 or 7 injuries. Who cares? Everybody got injuries. Who fucking cares? The Chiefs had injuries too. Like this is the stuff that fucking blows my mind. Did anybody know damn near the whole Chiefs offensive line was dealing with injuries? Miko Hardman, they done been through 2 or 3 running backs. The defense, for the most part, they've been up and down with the defense. Injuries on the defensive side of the ball. They're playing with a bunch of rookies on that defensive side of the ball. Do we make fucking excuses with them? No, nobody fucking cares. Everybody deal with injuries. That shit only applies when it comes down to the Falcons. Oh, the 49ers had injuries. Who fucking cares? Everybody deal with injuries. The Eagles been dealing with injuries too. You know the problem with it? You know the issue to them? They got depth. So when guys get back healthy, guess what? They start playing a lot better. They got depth. That's the only thing. The Chiefs have depth. We don't have depth. The 49ers had depth. That same team went out and won. Look, that same team, the 49ers, had been kicking everybody's ass all season long with those same injuries. But for whatever reason, when they play the Falcons, when the Falcons beat a team, they want to use that excuse with the 49ers. Do you know that every team that the Falcons beat, the fucking next game, that team lost? Let me say that again. Let me say that. Almost every single team that the Falcons beat this year, the very next game, these guys lost. There's a reason for that. Let me repeat that one more time because I don't think people heard me and they understand this. Almost every single team that the Falcons beat, the very next game they lost. Anybody want to take a wild guess as to why? Just saying. That's the truth, bro. Falcons, when teams play the Atlanta Falcons, they play an Arthur Smith name, they know they about to get into an all-out physical war. You gotta bring your A game when coming to it. So, my thing is, we got to stop with these. Everybody says, oh, this team had, look, it don't matter. The NFL, everybody got dealing with injuries. There's not a team in the NFL that doesn't deal with injuries. That is not an excuse for you to lose to somebody. Unless you're losing a guy like Patrick Mahomes or Matt Ryan in his prime or Tom Brady in his prime, you have no fucking excuse to lose. If you're not dealing with injuries across the board, and especially when the Falcons are ranked the worst roster in the league, I don't want to hear nothing about other team not having they having injuries. I don't want to hear that shit because we got the worst roster in the league according to the masses. The masses of the people and the media and the experts, the football experts said we got the worst roster in the league. So losing to us is an embarrassment. And like I said, the general consensus now is that Falcons got money. They shouldn't have no excuses. See, here we go again. Here we go again. Let me debunk this little myth also, because this is the stuff we talking about again. Now that the Falcons have money, they should have no issues getting to the damn playoff. Did anybody know what happened to that team called the Los Angeles Rams? Anybody know what happened to that team? The Los Angeles Rams. Does anybody know what happened to the Los Angeles Rams. Huh? What happened after they won the Super Bowl? Super Central 85. Yeah, those same people were out that game too, okay? But y'all see, this is stuff I be talking about. 49ers still got their ass whooped. Right after that game, we're talking about the 49ers. Those same 49ers went on like a 6-game winning streak. With and without those same players. So what we talking about? Like, y'all gotta get your head out of your asses and be truthful with yourself. Those same 49ers, with and without injuries, because Debo hasn't been healthy all year. George Kittle hasn't been healthy all year. Mitchell, the running back, he hasn't been healthy all year. Even Christian McCaffrey hasn't been healthy. They had a rotation at quarterback, and they still was winning games. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about, oh, they had 3 or 4 starters out. They were still winning games when they had guys going in and out of the lineup. Like, this is the stuff we talk about. We're talking about making excuses, and when the Falcons beat up on teams, y'all want to say, oh, the Falcons, oh, here we go, the Falcons got lucky. They didn't have these guys. Those same guys were rotating in and out of the lineup with San Francisco when they was winning games. So what's the logic there? What's the logic there? San Francisco 49ers, they playing with Mr. Irrelevant. They were still winning games with what perceived as the worst quarterback in the league. This guy was the last pick in the NFL draft. They were still winning games in there. So what's the point? They were still winning games when guys were hurt. Those important pieces. They were still beating quality teams. So I don't understand what your point is. All I see is hypocrisy. Because every time the Falcons get a big time win, everybody say, oh, but they hurt. That's interesting. That's mighty interesting, how that always works. You can't tell the 49ers that they shouldn't have beat the Falcons. The Rams spent damn near every dollar that they had, okay? And they didn't even make the damn playoffs. That's the point that I'm getting to. They went out, got receivers, defensive players, DBs. They spent every dollar that they had in free agency. Brought in Bobby Wagner. Guess what? They didn't even make the damn playoffs after they went to a Super Bowl. And most of their players were healthy. Some of them were not healthy. Some of them played healthy. Like, they didn't even make the playoffs. But somehow, some way, because the Falcons have, what, $80 million in cap space, is make the playoffs or else? I don't understand that logic. I truly don't understand that logic. If a team has money and they can go out and quote unquote buy the best players, why doesn't that same logic stand with them? That's only a logic that applies to the Falcons for the most part. But we want to put Arthur Smith and his Falcon team on that pedestal and say, all right, because those guys, we won 7-10, a couple years, back-to-back years. We got money now. We should make a deep playoff run. We want to put those expectations on them, just on the Falcons. So with that being said, When it comes down to that, we're gonna say, all right, if that stands for the Falcons, then I don't want to hear shit about the Philadelphia Eagles losing, because they went out and spent damn near every dollar that they had on that defense to make that defense and that offensive line. They spent picks, they spent defense, they spent money on the defense, they spent money in the trenches on the offensive line. So I don't want to hear nothing about the Philadelphia Eagles losing the Super Bowl. If they lose the Super Bowl, I don't want to hear no excuses, because they had money. They spent money too. So because the Falcons spent money, that's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. That's the stuff we're talking about. Give these guys proper time to develop. Stop putting these expectations on these guys that are damn near impossible. So what did everybody expect at this point from the Falcons? What are your expectations for the Falcons? Of course it is. Now, oh God, Anthony, stop, bro. Stop. Injuries happen. That's not an excuse. Come on, bro. Stop. Injuries happen. That's not an excuse. All right, hold on. Let me see something. Because this is stuff we talk. Doug Peterson went to Jacksonville with no coaching, made the playoffs in his. Man, do you know that damn division? Like, come on, bro. You smarter than this, Ant. The hell? Ant, do you really listen to what you saying, dog? He went to Jacksonville. Do you know what's in Jacksonville in that damn? Do we really got to do this? We really got to do this, Ant? Go look at that division that they in, okay? Oh, man. Come on, Ant, man. Come on, big dog. You smarter than this. You better than this, dog. The Titans, the Colts, and the Texans. Bro, what are you talking about, man? Ted, you gotta do better than this, bro. They in a division with the Texans, Colts, and Tennessee Titans. All three of those teams are struggling. Bro, we gotta do better than this. We gotta do better than this. We gotta do better than this. We gotta do better than this, people. This ain't even cool. Man, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they made an improvement offensively, but they've always had talent. But come on, bro. They play in a division with the Texans, bro. That's 2 automatic wins right there. Did we not see the Colts? They've been playing musical chairs at quarterback and linebacker in every position on the dang on field on offensive line. Do we got to bring up what's wrong in Tennessee? They playing musical chairs at quarterback, offensive line. The D-line has been the most consistent thing there in Houston. I expect 10 wins in the playoffs. Brian Sanders. The Rams went all in for one season in Super Bowl and was garbage the next year. I think, yeah, we know that. I like this current regime, but it's time to get back to the playoffs. I think that's the goal every year, but it's about growth and patience first. Settling for anything less than winning the Super Bowl should be seen as a failure. Don't set up. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my fucking life. I'm fucking sorry. I hear this stupid. I'm sorry. I hear this from everybody. I hear this quote really burns me. When you talk about burning my soul, this quote right here burns my freaking soul when I hear it. And check us out later tonight on Cooler Talks. This quote really burns my fucking soul. How are you going to improve as a person if you got that mentality? How are you going to improve as a franchise and an organization if everything is a fucking failure if you don't win a Super Bowl? Settling for anything less than winning a Super Bowl should be seen as a failure. Don't settle for mediocrity. What the hell does that even mean? Don't settle for mediocrity? Huh? Sometimes you're not very good. Sometimes you just don't have the greatest players. Sometimes your quarterback is complete ass. Sometimes your defensive line is complete ass. Sometimes you don't have a running game. That's not settling for mediocrity. It's accepting what is. Like everybody say stuff like that, and that shit pisses me off. When we say don't settle for mediocrity. The fuck? Who the fuck gonna? For one, if you a franchise and you used to winning 3 games every fucking year, don't you think winning 8 games is a win? Like, bro, what are we doing? Like these people with these fucking Madden ass mentalities, like if you don't win a Super Bowl, it's a failure. That's the goofiest shit ever. That's like telling your kid that, all right, making an honor roll is good, but you a failure because you made the honor roll. That's the dumbest shit ever. You don't tell your kids making an honor roll is good, is a failure. You need to make the principals list. All A's. All A's or nothing. And hell, even that probably, is a failure to certain people. It's like, if you're not valedictorian, if you're not, winning awards year after year after year as the best student, then you're a fucking failure. That's the same type of mentality. So at the end of the day, bro, it's a gradual build. How can you know that you headed in the right place if everything is Super Bowl or bust? How do you know you even improving if it's Super Bowl and bust? Everything is Super Bowl or bust. How the hell you know you're improving? How do you know if you're a good defense if everything is Super Bowl is number 1 a failure? Bro, if you, like I said, if you feel like Jacksonville gotta shed $22 million, D. Coleman, bro, you headed right, you headed right to where I was going. They gotta shed. They went all out in one offseason, and now they gotta shed $22 million. They $22 million in debt right now. With that same mentality, bro. That's the same mentality. You said they gotta go all out now? That's crazy. My thing is like I want to get close to 10 wins as possible. That's what I'm looking for out of the Falcons. I'm looking for 10 wins, around that 10 win mark. Playoffs are never guaranteed. Playoffs are never guaranteed because even teams that are perceived are supposed to be rebuilding and stuff like that. We literally just saw that with the Cincinnati Bengals. These dudes were 3-13 one year, and the next year they in the playoffs. They vying for a playoff team. They went to a Super Bowl the next year. Like, what are we talking about? Nothing is guaranteed, bro. Nobody would have thought this team would have, like the Bengals would be who they were at that time. Nobody would have thought the Bengals would be the team at it. But they defied all odds. They built their team the proper way, and they ended up making it. But they were patient. They did things the right way. They didn't go out and spend a whole bunch of money on free agents. They built their team the right way, and they still got a ways to go with that offensive line, but they built the team the right way. They got a pretty good running game. They got a pretty good quarterback. Got pretty good wide receivers. They got a pretty good defensive line. But that's where it started. It started at the defensive line and building the team the right way. But nobody would have thought that they would be in the Super Bowl. Look, I get it, Ant. I know you're not knocking our team, but it's these expectations that we put. It's asinine. Expectations are asinine. This is why coaches say one game at a time. When you start thinking Super Bowl or bust, you start overdoing it, overthinking. Because all you focus is on, well, we got to get to a Super Bowl. Players, hey man, I'm not even thinking about next week. I'm thinking about this week. Because you start pressing, you start listening to the media. I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. It's because people start pressing because your focus is on something else. That focus should always be on one thing: winning one game. Your focus should always be on one game. Improving your team one day at a time. Not winning Super Bowls or bust. And like I said, I get it. Who wants to lose? Nobody wants to lose. But you got to build the foundation first. You think all these teams are just like the Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles, all these guys just so happen to just build a team out of nothing and they got lucky? No, they didn't get lucky. The foundation of the Philadelphia Eagles, that's why they was able to go out and get a guy like Jalen Hurts, because they already had a foundation of a good defensive line. All they did was just, all right, we got a defensive line. We're going to keep adding to it, and we're going to put a bunch of complementary guys around those guys. But the foundation was already there. These guys are constantly in the playoffs because they created a foundation. They set a foundation and they kept building on that foundation. But we don't have that. That's why you got to get there first. So do you think Arthur Smith is satisfied with these 6 losing seasons in a row? See, this is what y'all gotta understand when it comes down to businessmen. They build a foundation first. Let me say that again. They are focused on building a foundation first. Your foundation is your customers, okay? As a business owner, you got to figure out, all right, this is what my customers like, and then I'm going to adjust my business around what the customers like. And then you go from there. But the foundation is his customers. Okay? The foundation of a business is the customers. You listen to what the customers want. That's how you end up creating $1 billion franchise. But you got to have a foundation first. And the foundation for a businessman is the customers. Listen to the customers. So how am I going to transfer? How am I going to, like, is Arthur Blank satisfied with losing 6 losing seasons in a row? Nobody wants to lose. So that's a like that statement in itself is a little bit off, because nobody likes losing. So when it comes down to whether or not he's satisfied with losing, come on, bro, you already know the answer to that. But as a businessman, like I said before, a businessman know what a foundation is. A businessman is thinking, all right, my customers, this is what my customers like. So I'm gonna keep doing what my customers like in order to make more money. So when it comes down to how I'm gonna relate that to football, well, you gotta have a foundation. Where's your foundation with this Falcons team? The foundation with this offense is running the damn ball. The foundation of the defense is Grady Jarrett in those trenches. The foundation for special teams is Young Wei Koo and our return game. So if you consistently build upon guys that can help Grady Jarrett out, you get a three. You got Ebiketie, you got Ogundeji, you got D'Angelo Malone. Those 3 guys right off the bat that you have. So how are you going to continue to, build on that foundation? The foundation is already there. It's the defensive line. So the Falcons, what they got to do? Bring in the right coaches that's going to help them continuously build on that defensive line. Like a Ryan Nielsen. You're going to bring in another coach in Jerry Gray, who's been in the league for 30 plus years, who coached guys like Sean Taylor. So the foundation hasn't really been set yet. But Arthur Smith knows that he got to establish a culture first. Like, how the hell you going to build a defense? You don't even know where the hell to start. You don't even know where to start. We just say, all right, we got a whole bunch of money. This guy good, that guy good, that guy good. Don't even give a damn if these guys don't even like each other. We don't even know if these guys want to even stay in Atlanta. We don't even know if they even like Arthur Smith, but we just want to go out, oh, we got $80 million, let's get all these guys. And they end up hating these guys. Every last one of these guys even up hating each other. But we got money. So you got to understand that, like, when it comes down to building a foundation, and I know I'm bored on this shit out of people saying this, but you got to have a foundation of people that actually like each other. Or you're going to end up like Oakland. Nobody in Oakland likes each other. And we see Tampa Bay right now, they don't even like each other in Tampa Bay. That boy Brian, Bruce Arians, like that dude is, look, he having a war, an all-out war with the organization. Because the organization sit up there and let Tom Brady come up there, destroy the whole chemistry. Now these guys got like $30-40 million in dead cap. They don't even like each other right now. So the Falcons have to start slowly. They got to bring in guys who are going to understand what the philosophy is. We're going to run the damn ball, and then we need to bring in guys who are complementary to running the ball. Guys who are good in play action, wide receivers who are good in play action. We got to have running backs who's able to run in certain styles of offense. We got to have tight ends. We got to have offensive linemen that's going to be complementary to that run game. And then you got to have defense. You got to have defense. Guys who can get after it. So we know the foundation for this team is running the damn ball. And Arthur Smith knows this is not going to be a one-year hit. Most of the team that won this year has been you see these teams, the 49ers, in the last 4 years, they've been getting up, leading up to this point, to building this team. The 49ers just didn't come out of nowhere and start getting good. The Philadelphia Eagles didn't come out of nowhere and just start getting good. The Giants defense didn't come out of nowhere and just start getting good. These guys, it was a gradual process to get to this point. It was a gradual process to get to this point. Everybody keep talking about the Chiefs dynasty. I want to be like the Chiefs. Why can't we be like the Saints? The Saints have been getting to this point since 2007, and their reign is coming to an end. This hasn't been something that's been like, this hasn't been an issue where the Saints just had, like, they just went in all of a sudden in 1 year and they said, all right, we're going to go all in. No, these guys have been building this defense since 2007. The offense has been built since 2007. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you think that defense just came? No. Before Tom Brady even got here, they was a top defense. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers already had a good defense before Tom Brady even got there. So it was a foundation that was set first. And even on top of that, why do you think that, let me ask you guys this. I want everybody's honest opinion on this. Why do you think that Sean Payton went to Denver? Why do you think Sean Payton went to Denver? Look, that I ain't saying no fucking. I'm not saying no damn Las Vegas. They gonna always be the Oakland Raiders to me, bro. What's up, Don? How you doing, bro? It's like everybody think like the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been good. Like, they've been setting their foundation to this team ever since goddamn, like, really 16. When they traded for about 16, 17, when they traded Tony Gonzalez to us. They've been building the foundation to that team for quite some time. They didn't just start winning. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, he went to Denver because that defense. Because there's a foundation there that he can build upon. So all he would have to do is focus on building the offense. You see how that works? This is why Arthur Smith is patient. Because he understands that you have to build a foundation first. And the foundation for this Atlanta Falcons team is running the damn ball. The foundation for this team currently, defensively, is Grady Jarrett. So if you build a team around Grady Jarrett, you build complementary players around Grady Jarrett, and you give them the right coaching, like they have with Jerry Gray as well as Ron Nielsen, then you can have something for years to come. The objective for franchises is never to win one Super Bowl. It's sustained success. Let me say that again. The objective for every owner, every franchise, is not to win one Super Bowl. It's sustained success. To be dominant over and over and over again. And like I said, the Saints themselves, guess what? This has been a foundation since 2007, bro. When they brought Sean Payton and Drew Brees, yeah, you can go back. And that reign finally coming to an end. This has been like a damn near 2-decade process for them. But for whatever reason, Falcons fans think we're supposed to, because we got a few $1 million, that it's Super Bowl or bust. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the stuff. This is the stuff. And look, you can sit down, look at how long the damn Steelers have been good. How long have the Steelers been good? What's up, the smoke? What you doing, bro? Walmart play him. That man, Sean Payton, is not a dummy. These coaches pick teams that have a solid foundation that they can build upon to make the process much easier. There's no, look, that's not a coincidence why Jerry Gray and Ryan Nielsen came from Green Bay and New Orleans just to be here with the Atlanta Falcons. Y'all think they really just, all right, said to themselves, I'm going to leave Green Bay, I'm going to leave New Orleans and go to the Falcons because the Falcons aren't a very talented team? Nope, they see what the Falcons are building. They see the foundation. If these coaches can see what we build in here and say, damn, I want to be a part of this process, why aren't you guys getting excited about it? Because Ryan Nielsen could have went anywhere else, but he came to Atlanta. Jerry Gray, a guy that came from Green Bay. This dude has coached the greatest. You talking about, like I said, Sean Taylor, Nate Clements. Like, you see all they got, like, from Buffalo to Tennessee, all these good DBs, great DBs. Like, this dude has coached the best of the best, but somehow he decided to come to Atlanta. Why do you think these guys came to Atlanta? The Falcons are setting the foundation for something for years to come, bro. And like I said, that Buccaneer defense, bro, that defense was already good before Tom Brady and Bruce Arians came here. So this is the reason why I'm like, it's the long way. It's the long answer to your question. Do you think Arthur Smith or Arthur Blank is satisfied losing 6 years in a row? Of course he look, of course nobody likes losing, but he understands that in order to win Super Bowls, it's about setting the foundation for things that are going to happen year after year after year after year. No owner, and I shouldn't even say that, because clearly that damn Rams team right now, they look real stupid going all out for that one Super Bowl now, because Aaron Donald don't even know if he really want to play. His heart has been in and out of it. This year we saw it. Aaron Donald didn't even look like the same Aaron Donald. Cooper Kupp getting hurt. You got an old beat up Matthew Stafford. So like those guys are starting to look real foolish. And they may be looking to rebuild their team shortly too. Don't be surprised if Arthur wants to preserve some of that space, the cap space. And they've already said they're going to be real. They're not going to go out, spend a lot of that cap space and just go crazy with it because you have it. Greg Williams, Joe Vitt built that system down there. They brought it. Dennis Allen run the machine. Nielsen stood out, made the defensive line better. Simple as that. It's about making the decision to build something great and then continuously having bright minds and brilliant coaches to add a little piece to it. That's literally what he said today. That's literally what Ryan Nielsen said today. Ryan Nielsen said the exact same thing. The Falcons are making a conscious effort to commit to defense. And they stated again today, like Terry Fontenot said, like, bro, we want to commit to building a strong defensive line. It's the commitment to success when it comes down to defense that gets you great defenses. You have to commit to the process. You can't just say, all right, we're going to go in all 1 year and then keep changing and keep changing and keep changing and making, no. You got to commit to a certain style, commit to it, add a little something to it that it can help. And that's something that the Pittsburgh Steelers do. They always bring in a guy that's going to add a little sauce to what they already building upon. The Steelers know exactly what they want to do and how they want to do it. The thing is, they bring guys in that going to add a little sauce to it. So, like I said, my thing is like I said before, it's not to put anybody down, but we got to realize that our own personal expectations for a team is really like it's warped. We have a warped sense of expectations, and a lot of that due is because of success. The Falcons have had a certain amount of success. So when you get a taste of the Super Bowl, fans naturally want to have more. Shit, players want to have more. But like that little taste of success end up becoming an obsession. And that's what happened with Thomas Dimitrov. It became an obsession. He didn't think a lot of those moves through. All he kept saying to himself, man, we need to get back to the Super Bowl. We need to get back to the Super Bowl. We need more weapons, more weapons, more weapons. And they end up making dumb trades. Like I said, dumb trades, not dumb trades, but dumb picks with Tack McKinley and Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley was a dumb pick. I still say that to this day. I thought Calvin Ridley was a good receiver. I think he's a good receiver, but we didn't need that because we got so focused on getting back to the Super Bowl, we didn't realize that we were really harming our future. We spent so much money trying to get back and add a little bit to that offense, add more explosiveness to that offense. We forgot, oh damn, we need defense too. It became an obsession. When your dreams start to become obsessions and you're not really thinking things through, that's what happened, bro. So like I said, this ain't even an attack at one person. This is this is how the media even thinks. It's because they think we should be doing this, but like at the end of the day, it's a process, bro. Everybody want to get back to the Super Bowl. Believe me. It's all good. And Flores, like, let's be honest, Flores is what he is, but, man, I said this earlier, it's the reason why people don't have jobs, man. And you got to look at at the end of the day, you got to look at why this guy doesn't have a job now. Really say to yourself why Brian Flores don't have a job. Not that he isn't a good coach, but like there's certain aspects of the game that you got to take into account. Why don't Eric Bieniemy have a job? Why doesn't Brian Flores? And we got to start with he black stuff, which can be a part of an issue. Like I said, I'm not saying that's not something that isn't valid at some point, but these guys have had opportunities. But most of these guys don't even have they're not even getting any more defensive coaching jobs. He just got hired. All right, he just went to Minnesota. Vlad, that man said the NFL is 100% racist, but racists love winning. Winning equals money. That's it, bro. Racists care about money, bro. So they gonna bring in the best coaches, the best players. They don't care nothing about that. Racists love money, bro. Like that is. Racists love money. That's what it comes down to. Racists love money. They want to win. You feel me? That's it. That's what it comes down to. And like I said, man, this like I said, man, I think, I'm not the best at being able to convey a message. I am improving that, and that's just part of being a content creator. You try to learn new methods on how to convey a message. And at the end of the day, this is what my message is. Us Falcons fans, we suffer from PTSD. We lost the Super Bowl, 98, 99, 16. So we are willing to do anything and everything to get back to the Super Bowl and win it. And then if we feel as though our owner isn't doing it fast enough to fill our own personal expectations, we start to replace that with anger. And then we take it out on guys like Matt Ryan. We take it out on Julio. We take it out on the defense. We take it out on Dean Pease. We take it out on these guys. Because it's not happening at the rate that we feel it should. It's not happening the way we should think it should happen. And that's the problem. It's a process, dog. Winning is a process. Building a successful business is a process. You got to get the business loan. You got to get the right people to help you with the finances. You got to get a financial advisor. You got to get the guys that get the permits. Then you got to go to the builders. Then you got to talk to the builders to see if they getting the right, the advisors to the builders. Because you don't know if these guys trying to cheat you. And then you got to bring in a guy that knows things about football. And then you got to get an advisor to the football guy. Because you don't know if the football guy is selling you a line of bullshit because he's trying to build shit his way instead of building your. It goes so much deeper than what we think it is. So when it comes down to it, Falcons fans are dealing with PTSD because we still haven't got over losing. So we're willing to do anything, spend all our money, make all the wrong moves because we're trying to hurry up and get back to a Super Bowl. Instead of building it the right way, doing it the right way the first time. So like I said, bro, trust me, I get I get it. I get it. I want to win too. But look, I know this shit the way we did it under Tommy Dimitroff, trying to be all explosive and all that shit and still not building. Football is won in the trenches. Okay? Got to have a good running game, got to have a good offensive line, got to have a good defensive line. If you don't have that foundation set first, then what's the point? Do you think 17 Falcons were one and done like the Rams? Hold on, shit. Keep missing all the messages. I mean, 17 Falcons, they were the victim to just not having they didn't improve the trenches. We put a Band-Aid on the trenches. We thought bringing in, getting another wide receiver, getting another running back was going to improve the team. We got beat by Philadelphia because the Philadelphia Eagles had a better trench. They played better in the trenches. That's why we lost. 18 lost same way because we didn't improve in the trenches. Everybody else got stronger in the trenches, but we thought bringing in wide receivers and running backs and deep defensive backs was going to help us get to the Super Bowl, get back to the Super Bowl. Like that's the misconception. Everybody think that having weapons is going to get us to that point, but that's not true. Got to be able to build the football game. Football games. Every team that you see right now have great defensive line and great offensive line. Every last team that's left in the playoff right now, in the last couple of weeks. Philadelphia, the Giants, Cowboys, Seattle had a damn good defensive line. They improved their offensive line. Like I can keep going on and on. San Francisco. These guys had great trench play. And that's the reason why they was in the playoff. You got to build the trenches the proper way. All these wide receivers and quarterbacks, none of that crap even matters if you can't protect them and get after the quarterback. So we got to have a solid foundation of something. Juice said best to start with the trenches, bro. That like I said, they were just like you said, John. They were patching holes, bro. Like you can't win when you steadily like I like that year. I think we had we had Alex Mack there, but like we had like problems with our right tackle, left guard, or bro, our offensive line was a mess. That's why we drafted, but that's why we drafted Chris Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry, because we was patching holes left and right and left and right. So we eventually had to invest in the trenches, but it was too late. Julio was getting old. Matt Ryan is getting older. Like these guys were on their decline, and now all of a sudden, when they're on the decline, we want to start added to the trenches. It's too damn late, bro. Matt Ryan, 35 years old. Now all of a sudden you want to draft Chris Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry. Man, get out of here with that nonsense. That's crazy. He got 39, 30, 35, 35, 34, 35. Julio Jones he's 30 years old. Now all of a sudden y'all want to start adding offensive linemen. Man, get out of here. That's crazy. Craziness. So like I said before, man, we're going to go north, bro. That's exactly it. They ruined luck because they didn't think that the trench play was important. And about time that, they end up committing to Nelson and all those guys, it was too dang on late. And they still trying to rebuild from it. So like I said, you gotta build the trenches, bro. It's important to build the trenches first. It's important to build the trenches. It starts there. And that's the facts. So you guys check us out tonight. We're about to go live tonight. Cooler Talks, K-Style. We're gonna talk about more of the moves today. I think y'all gonna really enjoy that. So like I said before, man, and this is what we always end with, is that if you come here, every point is going to be attacked, but it's never personal. Every opinion, every statement that everybody makes, including myself, is going to be attacked. So don't take it personal. It's not personal. This is just what happens over here. All right, we like to debate and we like to talk football. So don't think it's personal. I think everybody know that now. But those who knew, if you don't understand the environment, this is how we do it. Every point is going to be critiqued. Every word is going to be critiqued. But don't take it personal. So check us out tonight, 8 o'clock. 6-Man K Styles, Cooler Talks, Matt Mike, and we may have a few people on. We might have, hey, you might see Big Sam in there. He might make a appearance. We don't know. But like I said, 8 o'clock, give us about an hour or so. Shit, I'm hungry as hell right now. I need to get something to eat. But yeah, got to get ready for this show. 6-Man K-Style, Matt Mike Sports, Cooler Talk tonight. We're going to talk about a lot of good stuff. And that bullshit ass rule, we got to have a conversation about that tonight. So you guys damn sure want to stay tuned for that. All right. So that being said, I'm out of here, man. Peace.